Now in this session we will discuss the buffering algorithm. Just now we have discussed what is the buffering algorithm. Suppose a run required a buffer, we are assigning the buffer based on the requirement. That buffer is called floating buffer. If a k-way merge sort using floating buffers, that is called buffering algorithm. That is called buffering algorithms. Okay. And first, before going to example and algorithm, we have to remember some of the points. What is the points? The first one, at least one buffer, at least one input buffer for each run. That is, each run contains at least one input buffer. At least one input buffer. The remaining buffers are filled on a priority basis. The remaining buffers are filled on a priority basis. That means whenever required, I am given an input buffer to that particular run. Okay. What are the sum of the assumptions? We have to follow some of the assumptions. So here this is called a buffering algorithm, or another name is C. What is another name? K-way merge with floating buffers. K-way merge with floating buffers is called a buffering algorithm. Some of the assumptions. We are performing read operation and write operation. Okay. That means reading from a disk or writing into a disk simultaneously. Suppose if you want to perform read from a disk or writing into a disk simultaneously, we are using two disk drives. Some of the assumptions in the floating buffer. That is, for read operation I am using one disk, and write operation I am using some another disk. Read one disk, write operation I am using another disk. Okay. Now, while read and write operation is performed, while either read operation or write operation is processed, the CPU cannot make a reference to same block of memory. That is, what happens if you are performing either read operation or write operation, we cannot access the same memory. That is, the memory is reserved for either read operation or write operations. So, and some of the another assumptions are input and output buffers are of same size. That is, the number of elements that are stored in input and output must be same. Input and output of same size. And each run ends with, suppose what is a run? Run is some set of elements, and we are ending each run. Each run ends with some sentinel record. Each run ends with some sentinel record. What do you mean by sentinel record? Simply a largest value. Among all the, compared to all the elements, we are placing a largest value at the end of a record, simply plus infinity. So no problem, we will discuss each and everything in the example. Each run ends with a sentinel record. Next, the time to perform merge operation. That is, I am performing merge operation and places into the output buffer. Is equal to read operation. Read from a disk. That is, read a block of data. That is, in simple term, the read operation and merge operation takes the same time. Why? Because we are calculating the times, and to perform the parallel operations. To perform the operations parallelly, I am assuming that both read operation and merge operation takes same amount of time. And these are the general scenarios we are using regularly, and this one is the very important. For example, if the case of merging equal keys, if we have equal keys, that is, run 1 and run 2 both contain same keys, which one we have to select? So we have to select the run with the smallest index, the runs with the smallest index. That means run 1 and run 2 contains the same keys. So simply we are choosing the key from run 1. Why? It has the smallest index, run 1 and run 2, and it is chosen for the next read operation. That is, we are picking an element from run 1, automatically we are placing the next read operation from run 1. And finally, input buffers are queued. That is, the input buffers are queued in k queues. The input buffers are arranged in a queue format, one queue for each run. That is, each run maintain a queue, one queue for each run. And empty buffers, where the empty buffers, that is the floating buffers, empty buffers are placed in a stack. These are some of the assumptions. So in the buffering algorithm, we have to perform buffering algorithm with floating buffers. I am making some assumptions here. I am explaining the very important assumptions are this one. The input, each input run is end with infinity. The time operation for read and merge is same. Equal keys, we have equal keys, then we are selecting the run with the smallest value. Each run maintains a queue. Each run maintains a queue. Okay. Now consider an example. Consider an example, and this example will clarify all the doubts. Run 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. And I am placing a sentinel value, that is a plus infinity. That is, the symbol specifies this is the end of a run. That is the end of a run. 3, 5, 7, 16, 21, 26. Okay, these are the two runs. I am using some floating buffers. Assume these are the floating buffers: B1, B2, B3, B4. These are the floating buffers. So before going to example, before going to implement this concept, I will explain some of the important points. Here I am using k is equal to 2. That is a two-way merge sort. So automatically there are two linked queues. There are k is equal to 2 means two linked queues, one for each run. That is, k is equal to 3 means we are maintaining 3 linked queues, one for each run. And remember, initially all are empty. Initially the queue is empty. And we have 4 floating buffers: B1, B2, B3, B4. Initially all are placed into a stack. Initially all the floating buffers are placed into a stack. Okay. Assume S is the buffer size. N. Just assumptions. N is the run from which the next block is read. For example, these are the blocks. Assume this is a block. N is the run from which we are reading the next block. That is, I am reading from run 1. So n is equal to 1. I am reading from run 2. N is equal to run 2. And the very important one is, you have to know this one. Last key of I. This one is the important one to implement the operation. What is last key of I? The key value that is recently placed into input buffer from run I. That is, the last key of I specifies the recently stored key value from run I. Based on this last key. That is, for example, we have run 1 and run 2. The last key of run 1 and the last key of run 2 is compared. whichever is the minimum, whatever the value. You got it? What is the last key of I? The value that are placed into the input buffer from run I. For example, last key of 1. Last key of 1 means the lastly placed value from run 1. Last key of 2, the last placed value from run 2. I am comparing those two values. So among these, what is the minimum one? Either run 1 or run 2. So whatever the minimum value, n is the run from which the next block is loaded. For example, among these two, if run 1 is the minimum value, now next step I am performing read operation from run 1, otherwise run 2. Okay, no problem. I will explain all these concepts with the example. Run 1, run 2, this is the output, and this is the next block. So next, from which block you have to perform read operation. Okay, first I am assigning how many floating buffers you have. We have 4 floating buffers. So I am assigning 2 floating buffers, one for each run. So in the algorithm we have discussed, each run contains at least one buffer. So one floating buffer, suppose B1, the floating buffer B1 is assigned to run 1, buffer B2 is assigned to run 2. Now place the two values. Run 1 contains 2 4, so 2 4. Run 2, the two values are 3 5. Initially we have no output. Next, what is the next step? The next step is you have to perform read operation, merge operation, like that. Okay, suppose we are performing merge operation. So you know that simply by performing merge operation, what is the output? You know that one, 2 3. So no problem. But parallelly to perform merge operation parallelly with read operation, so which buffer is to be read? That is, we have to read information from run 1 or run 2. That is the important. What is the last read value from run 1? Lastly read value is 4. From run 2 last value is 5. Among these two, the minimum one is 4. So next we have to read from run 1. You got it? Here in this, the last key of I specifies the last value read from run 1 is 4, from run 2 is 5, the minimum value is 4. So in the next step we are reading from run 1. So we are reading from run 1. So parallelly what you have to do? Parallelly you have to perform merge operation. That is the reason I am performing the merge operation and perform read operation also. So I am adding a queue. That is, I am adding a floating buffer. To the linked queue. This is called a linked queue. And remember how many? The maximum 2 linked queue. Here k value is equal to 2 means the maximum we are maintaining 2 queues. You got it? Okay. So perform merge operation between 2 and 3. At the same time perform read operation from run 1. Why it is from run 1? Among 4 and 5, 4 is the minimum one. So 6,8 as readed. 4 is already presented in the queue. Now next, from which block you have to run? The last read value is 8. Here the last read value is 5. So perform read operation from run to. Perform read operation from run to. Okay. Now what is the step? Read for, that is we have to perform read operation for run to. At the same time you have to perform merge operation. At the same time you have to perform merge operation. So the smallest two values are 4 and 5. So perform merge operation 4, 5. At the same time here the two values are 6 and 8. Here this is empty. We are reading into run to, that is from run to. The next two values are 7 and 16. Next two values are 7 and 16. Next, what is the minimum value? The minimum value is, here the last read value from run 1 is 8. The least read value from run 2 is 16. So read from run 1. Read from run 1. Okay. So I am reading from run 1. How to read? Simply we are maintaining a linked queue. This is empty. Perform merge operation between 6 and 7. So what is the remaining one? The remaining one is 8, and the next two elements are 9 and 10. The next two elements are 9 and 10. Here there is no read operation for run to. Here the buffer is completely free. Whenever the buffer is completely free, here why I am using this one? I am performing read operation. That is the reason I am using the buffer. But in this case, there is no use of buffer. Simply place the buffer again onto the stack. It contains only the elements 16. That is, this empty buffer is placed into the stack. Now I am merging two elements. What are the two elements? 6 and 7. Now the minimum value is from run 1, 10. So run 1. So perform read operation from run 1. At the same time, what you do? You have to perform the merge operation also. Perform the merge operation also. What are the two smallest elements among this? The two smallest elements are 8 and 9. The two smallest elements are 8 and 9. So I am placing 8 and 9. I am placing 8 and 9. Here observe. So you have to read from run 1. You have to read from run 1. But the run 1, 2, 4 is completed. 6, 8 is completed. 9, 10 is also completed. Next I am reading a sentinel record. Next I am reading a sentinel record. So simply representation. That means read operation from run 1 is completed. The read operation from run 1 is completed. That is, there is no record from run 1. So run 2. If there is no record, simply perform merge operation between 10 and 16. Between 10 and 16. So what to do? At the same time you have to perform read operation. The read operation 21 and 26 run 2. 21 and 26 run 2. Now finally a single buffer M. You have to read from run 2, and the run 2 is also completed. The run 2 is also completed. Simply place the records, and there is no element from run 1 or run 2. Simply stop the procedure. You got it? This is the way to use the floating buffer. So whenever we require a buffer, then only I am assigning the buffer. If there is no requirement, simply place the buffer again onto the stack. Place the buffer again onto the stack. This is the floating buffer. That is buffer handling K-way merge sort with floating buffers. Okay. Now we will discuss the algorithm for K-way merge. Algorithm is also very simple. K-way merge with floating buffers. So what is algorithm? First step, So assume let k be the number of runs, that is how many number of runs, k be the number of runs, s is, this is all are our assumptions, s is size of the buffer. What is the step 1? We know step 1. Step 1 means, for example, if we are using 2 runs, how many linked queues we are using? 2 linked queues, that is for each run we are using a maximum of 2 queues, that is a maximum of 2 buffers. We are using a maximum of 2 buffers. So the first one is setup k. If we are using k number of runs means setup k linked queues, setup k linked queues. Okay, then what is the first step? So insert first block from each run, into an input buffer, that is block 1 from run 1 is copied into input buffer, block 1 from run 2 is also copied into an input buffer. So see the same example. In this I am using 2 linked keys, then I am using 4 buffers. What I am doing? Initially I am using 2 input buffers, that is block 1 from run 1 is pushed into one buffer, block 2 from run 2 is pushed into the buffer. Now the remaining 2 buffers are placed into the stack. Now what is the step? The remaining buffers pushed into the stack. Okay, suppose output buffer is represented some using notation OU, just our notation, that is step 1. Okay, the read operation is completed. After read operation, what is the example? So in that example we have to check the last key of I. Based on the last key of I, we have to identify the next block from which we have to perform read operation and then perform merge operation. So after reading, what is the next one? Last key of I. So you know the meaning of last key of I. Last key of I be the key value that is recently placed into the input buffer from run I. The meaning is the key value that is placed into the input buffer from run I is called last key of I, and n is equal to the minimum of all the last keys. It specifies, right, theoretically n is the minimum of all the last keys, specifies the next block, that is from which run you have to read the next block. We have to identify that one. And in the step 3, select S minimum keys, that is the buffer size is S, we have to select S minimum keys. If the buffer size is 3, I am picking 3 elements. If the buffer size is 2, I am picking only 2 elements. So select S minimum keys from all input buffers. Then what is the operation? At the same time you have to perform the merge operation. And place it into the output buffer. And if the output buffer is full, it is placed into the disk. Output buffer is full and that is placed into the disk. The same operation. What is the next step? Based on the next block, we are assigning a buffer. To the corresponding run. And perform the operation repeatedly. Okay, what is the final? Finally place all the information into the output buffer. So place all the information in the output buffer into a disk. The step 5 is repeat the operations 2, 3, 4 until no block is read, no block is to be read, that is if the entire run is completed, finally exit. You got it? Simply this is an algorithm. The first step is assign 2 buffers to each run, that is assign k buffers to corresponding runs, and the remaining buffers are placed into the stack. Now based on the last key of I, select the block, that is select the run from which we have to perform read operation, merge the operation, and then perform read operation. The process is repeated until there is no element to be read from the run. There is no element to be read from run 1. So simply write the 4 steps. Write the 4 steps based on this example. This is an algorithm for k-way merge sort. Thank you.